Hello everyone, my name is Hastings Mkandawire from Mzuzu, Malawi in Central Africa. My business is the development of hydroelectric power plants for the rural people. I design small-scale hydroelectric power systems and I install them for the rural people so that they have access to electricity. In Malawi, the biggest problem is lack of electricity. It's like about 1% of the population from the rural areas have got access to electricity. Imagine a country of 18 million people. 70% of people live in rural areas, but only 1% has got access to electricity. This is the reason why I involve myself to develop these small-scale hydroelectric power plants so that people in rural Malawi can have access to phone charging, to radios, to television, and sometimes they also pump water using this electricity for irrigation. By 2013, I had designed and installed more than 100 small-scale hydroelectric power plants across rural Malawi. By 2014, in order to improve my activities, I was selected by the American government and I was sent to University of Wisconsin-Stout to study business and entrepreneurship. Whilst there, I met Tom Laxonen. He is an engineer there, he's a professor there. He taught me manufacturing and he also taught me how I can set up my workshop. In 2015, he came to my place, he came back to Malawi. I stayed in the United States for 6 weeks at University of Wisconsin-Stout. So when he came back, when he came to Malawi in 2015, he came to teach me how to set my workshop so that I can produce better products and more products. Then he went back to the United States. In 2017, August, he came again. This time around, he was accompanied by Eric Huren. They came to assist me setting up an aluminium foundry so that I manufacture some of my hydroelectric plants from aluminium. They only stayed for 7 days, just 1 week, and then they left. But this 1 week was enough for me and Eric to set up good relationship. From that time up to this day, we've always been talking through phones, through WhatsApp, through emails. And earlier this year, I and Eric have been discussing a lot about the social life of people in Malawi that he misses. We've been discussing about the business life. We've been also discussing about the pandemic. By 15th April, Eric asked me about the pandemic, and I explained to him that in Malawi here, we have a serious problem because cases are being confirmed. But the problem is that although cases are being confirmed, people cannot stay in their homes because people, for them to eat, they rely upon the daily activities that they do. Either they have to sell something, or maybe they have to do a small piecework for them to survive. So it means if they have to stay in the home, it means they'll die out of hunger. But at the same time, if they go out to work or they go out to the market, it means they'll catch the virus. So either way, it means they'll still die. But people feel like if maybe they go out to work, or if maybe they go to do some businesses, maybe they feel like they'll die at a later date. And unlike maybe if they stay in the home, it means they will just die at once. So being the case, people still opt to go out and do some businesses, even though there is a very high risk that people will contract the virus. But at the same time, the other biggest problem is that the information gap, how people can protect themselves, how they can protect themselves from spreading the virus, and how they can protect themselves from catching the virus. This has been the biggest problem. So upon hearing about this, Eric felt very sorry about my situation in where I live, in Mzuzu, in Malawi, and he felt like he should do something. He told me that the situation in the United States is very volatile, and that at the time of our discussion, he had lost a job there. But then he said, Hastings, I need to do something for you, because even you say you have stopped doing your businesses, you have stopped because of the pandemic. Now I'll donate $3,000 so that you buy some face masks, that you keep some for yourself and your family, and at the same time you also distribute some to the neighboring areas. And then I bought some face masks. Yeah, so it was on 17th April, that's when I started buying some face masks. Because he sent me the money on 15th April and I received the money the following day on 16th April through Western Union. So I procured 2,495 face masks, and I also procured 1,000 bottles of sanitizers, and then I printed the brochures, 1,100, and I also made face painting, war paintings. So we painted 10 war paintings across Mzuzu. This work is being done by myself. I distributed the face mask myself. I did the painting myself. I got someone who did the painting, and then I distributed all the brochures myself, my wife, and the volunteers around us. But when doing this, we've always been maintaining the social distance of 1 meter apart when distributing the face masks, just to make sure that there is no transmission of the virus during the process. But another good part is that we received the overwhelming support from the government through the health department, through the police, through the city council, and through the community leaders. They've been very welcome, and they gave us the support, talking to people, helping us talk to people. Yeah, so it has been very nice. This is the reason why we have done a very good job, and then this is what we have done so far with the funding from Eric. Now, at this time, the pandemic is still rising very high in Malawi, very much. So at the beginning, it was the people who were coming from South Africa, some other people who were flying in from London, from somewhere from other outside countries. They were the ones who were bringing in the virus. But now it's the people who are now within the countries. Now it's just local transmission. So the spread now is very high. This is the reason why Eric thought of another way of trying to help us fundraise, and then he has launched a campaign, the GoFundMe campaign, yeah, so that he can raise some additional funds so that we can procure some more face masks, we can procure some more face sanitizers, and then we can print some more brochures, and that we can also maybe paint some more walls, yeah, just to give information to the people. Now, I understand that now we have reached maybe the third day when this campaign is running, since the campaign was launched maybe some few days ago. So this time around, I just want to say a big thank you to all people who are taking part in this campaign. Thank you very much. I want to assure you that all the resources that you are committing towards this Mzuzu COVID response program will be used to its intended purpose. I want to assure you that this money that you are sending will be used solely for the purpose of trying to reduce the spread of COVID-19. The funds that you are donating will be used to procure face masks. It will be used to procure more sanitizers. It will also be used to procure papers and to print brochures and distribute to the people, to make sure that people out there, they have access to the right information, how they can use the face masks, how they can they can reduce the spread of the virus, how they can also reduce the risk of themselves contracting the virus. And we'll make sure that we also make additional war paintings across Mzuzu. I want to assure you that the funds will be used to the intended purpose. Thank you very much for whatever you are doing. I thank you very much. I also want to assure you that the very same process that we used with the funding from Eric is the very same process that is going to be used this time around. Maintenance of 1 meter distance is still going to be used. And at the same time, the health department will also be involved. The police will still be involved. The city council will still be involved. And the community leaders and the volunteers who are helping me and my family, these are the structures who will still be involved. I thank you very much for the support that you're giving. May God bless you. Thank you very much.